Something very strange has just happened behind the scenes at Sony. After years of trying to build a Spider-Man universe, they've basically scrapped the whole thing. Yep, the entire villain universe, the one with Venom, Morbius, Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter, is now being rebooted. But here's the weird part, Spider-Man himself isn't being rebooted at all. So what exactly is going on? Why is Sony resetting the universe they spent years building? And what does this mean for the future of Spider-Man movies? Let's break it down. So for the last few years, Sony's been trying something honestly pretty unusual. They were building a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. Instead of focusing on Peter Parker, they built movies around the villains. We got Venom, Morbius, Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter. Now, to be fair, Venom actually worked. These movies made a lot of money, but after that, things started to go sideways. Morbius became a meme, Madam Web got absolutely hammered by critics, and Kraven the Hunter didn't exactly save the universe either. So, Sony had a franchise, but audience just weren't connecting with it. Because when you think about it, a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man is kind of like making Batman movies without Batman. Eventually people start asking, wait, where's the main character? Now Sony executives have basically admitted it. They're rebooting the entire live-action spin-off universe. That means the timeline that started back in 2018 with Venom is essentially being wiped clean. New direction, new creative ideas, possibly new versions of the characters. In other words, Sony is starting over. But here's where things get interesting. Because the reboot doesn't include Spider-Man himself. Spider-Man is actually part of a completely different situation. Sony owns the film rights to the character, but the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are made together with Marvel Studios, so it's basically a partnership. Sony distributes the films, Marvel helps produce them and connects them to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that collaboration has been a massive success. Homecoming, Far From Home and No Way Home. These movies made billions at the box office, so Sony has absolutely no reason to mess with that formula, which means Tom Holland's Spider-Man story is continuing exactly as planned. The next movie, currently called Spider-Man Brand New Day, is already moving forward. So while Sony is rebooting one universe, the MCU Spider-Man story stays exactly the same. So the real question now is, what replaces the old universe? And this is where the rumours get quite interesting. Instead of focusing on villains, Sony might start building projects around different Spider characters. Things like Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Punk, Spider-Noir. These characters exploded into popularity thanks to Spider-Verse movies. And they give Sony something they didn't give them before, a Spider-Man universe that doesn't rely entirely on Peter Parker. When you step back and look at everything Sony is doing right now, you start to see a bigger picture. They've got the MCU Spider-Man films, the animated Spider-Verse series, a Spider-Noir TV show on Amazon, and now a rebooted live-action universe. So instead of one timeline, Sony might actually be building an entire Spider multiverse across movies, TV and animation. If they get it right, Spider-Man could become one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood all over again. So the Sony Spider-Man universe isn't exactly dead, it's just been reset. The villain-only experiment didn't work, but the next version of the universe could look very different. Now, I'm curious what you think. Should Sony build the new universe around Miles Morales? Or should they finally just give us a proper Spider-Man centered universe again? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoy the movie news, rumours and deep dives like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you don't miss the next update, because trust me, there's a lot happening in the Spider-Man world right now and we'll be covering all of it right here on Popcorn Culture.